I want to thank you, all four of you, for coming tonight and offering us such a really excellent debate on the issues. We're going to do a wrap-up now with each of you taking 2 minutes, and we'll go in reverse order. We'll start with Mr. Reese, Mr. Pallmeyer, Mr. Cohen, and Mr. Frank, and we'll wrap it up.
Thank you very much, and thank you, folks. You've been a great audience. I actually wish we'd have more vigorous debate, and maybe that's because of the nature of where I come from and the practice of law, because I think you do need to get a very, very good understanding of where we've been on these issues. And I'd like to see a little give and take back and forth among and between the candidates. Let me thank my wife, Ann, first of all, because, and I know that Al feels the same with Franny, and obviously Jack, Sarah. As we travel around the state, we just couldn't do it without our spouses. And I'll tell you, it's 110% of the time, because we get home at night, and whether it's a good day or a bad day, we have to share the experiences, and they've also been out on the trail. So thank you, Ann, and thank you all of our spouses. I think that this election is so critical. People ask me, Mike, why are you running? I've said, I couldn't not. For 36 years, I've been fighting for Minnesotans. My dad, as I said, had a 7th grade education. He spoke broken English. I saw him go to school when I was in high school because he was embarrassed because he didn't know the language as well as he felt he should. And I know that every single child deserves the opportunity that I had. And I know that I fought for Minnesotans my entire life, and I'll do it in the United States Senate. I don't think there's a candidate in this race who has the record of fighting for Minnesotans that I have. And we've done well while doing good, I'll grant you that. But we've reinvested in Minnesota. And our foundations throughout this state have supported children, civil justice, education, pre-K. We've done it, and I will do it in the United States Senate. You ask the question about money. Nobody will ever have Mike Cerise's vote because of the contribution. The people will have my vote, and I will answer to them. Thank you very much, folks.
A young woman called in to Click and Clack the other day, and she was confessing that she was now 30 years old, and when she was 15 or 16, she had taken her father's car and was driving to a party, and the red light went on and started flashing. She said she found that really annoying. So she took out a piece of tape and she covered it up, and she kept driving. Well, the long story made short is her father got in the car the next day, and the car was completely ruined. And I think that's our great temptation right now, when we're faced with all the difficult problems that we face in this country. The bridge goes down, let's put a piece of tape over it. The rock's not going well, let's put a piece of tape over it. We hear about, Mike said 80% reduction by 2050. I'm sorry, we're going to be dead before then. We need to do much better than that. We want to put a piece of tape over it. Now, I learned from my father's death, he died of cancer. He went to a doctor who told him he had bronchitis when he was coughing out blood. And we believed that. We wanted to believe it. But it wasn't true. So when he went to another doctor and they found his cancer, he died 6 weeks later. Now, I want you to know that I have tremendous sense of urgency about where this country is. And you can check that on the website. I also want you to know that I am a profound person of hope. I believe this is a tremendous time to be alive. This is a tremendous opportunity for us to unite in this state, in this country, to help us transition to being a different kind of country in the world. The world doesn't want us to be the military dominant power. It wants us to be a decent global partner. We can help in that transition. We can build a renewable energy economy. We can provide good education and health care for people in this state and country. So if you want someone who will take all these issues, incredible sense of urgency, with a spirit of hopefulness, I'm your guy, because we can transform this country. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here and allowing all of us. Isn't this a tremendous forum? Tremendous candidates, each of which has so many attributes We know that the measure of success is going to be determined by a mantra that I've said many times. It's simple as ABC, anybody but Coleman. Anybody but Coleman. And when we take a look at this race, and you take a look at who will be the nominee, you should take a look at what we've done, what we've stood for. This race is about access to the political system. It's about access for the common woman, the common man, the working family. Who is going to have the voice? Who has provided the voice for those people, and average working men and women, over the course of our lives? Take a look at the resume. Each one has a distinguishing attribute or attributes to bring to this race. From my standpoint, I've dedicated myself to the public interest and public service, and I view this opportunity to be your United States Senator as an opportunity not for a job, not to facilitate change, not just to help transform this country and the policies that we have been forced to accept that is deleterious to this whole population, but I view this opportunity to be a servant, a continuation of public service. And if the average American, the average Minnesotan, the common man, the common woman, if his or her voice is going to be heard, then we know that we are going to have single-payer, universal health care. If the average American and the average Minnesotan voice is actually heard and gets access to Congress, we're going to have new kinds of renewable energy and meet the urgent standards that we have to impose in order to get rid of global warming or to reduce carbon dioxide very significantly. We know that, in the words of Barbara Jordan, if America lives up to its promise, it does have my kind of optimism. We can get things done. We can fulfill the American promise to make a better America. I've done it for 40 years. I've built coalitions. I've gotten results. And I intend to continue that with your support. I hope I've earned it. I hope I get your trust. Thank you very much again.
Thank you again for the forum, and thank you to my fellow candidates. Who's ever going to take on Norm Coleman is going to get attacked. And I'm sort of used to that. And I know how to take them on. And you do it with, first of all, with a grassroots people power organization around the state. Now, I guess there's something about me being a celebrity. John Lovitz is a celebrity. He was a cast member Saturday Night Live. He wouldn't have 52,000 donors. I have 38 state legislators backing me. I have the backing of the first 2 labor unions. I have contributors from every county in this state. I went last cycle. I did 50 or 60 bean feeds and dinners and talked to the people all around Minnesota because I knew we could build a majority in the state House of Representatives. I went around the country raising money for Democrats because I felt we could get a majority in the House of Representatives and in the Senate. I've been fighting for years, and those 52,000 people know it. And I am going to hold Norm Coleman accountable. He has been a lapdog for this president. And he hasn't been going to the center. He's been taking a vote against the president whenever he has cover. Norm Coleman, through his career, has called himself a progressive Democrat, a conservative Democrat, a moderate Democrat, a conservative Democrat, a progressive Republican, a moderate Republican, and a conservative Republican. I'm not kidding. Now he calls himself a moderate. Barney Frank has a word for those moderates, or a term for them. They're always there when you don't need them. I'm going to win by holding Norm Coleman accountable, and then talking about the aspirations of Minnesotans and Americans. That's how we win, by taking him on directly, because they are going to come at us. Thank you.